Hello, my good people. Good to see you once again. All right. So, say you want to take a loan. Unataka kuchukua loan. You want to start a business, or maybe you want to buy something on a loan. Guess what? I have a very nice, good, relatable rule that you're supposed to apply, and itakusaidia you don't get yourself into what I call the debt trap. A lot of people are into loans that are not healthy. Some of them are even faking death. Others are even hiding. Others are even changing a lot of roads and such kind of a thing. So anyway, let's go ahead and dissect this rule called 20, 4, and 10 and get to see what does it have for us on the table so that we don't get ourselves into this messy thing called a loan. But remember, I always advise people, if you have a chance to get a loan to start a business, go ahead and do it, because a loan or a debt, it's a nice thing provided you know how to use it. So if you want to get all the information on how to do it and how to apply this loan, so you never, or rather this rule on loans, so you don't get yourself into debt traps, stick around. But before we do that, as always, hey, do this. Just take 1 second. Up chini on your right, there is a button written subscribe. It is in black. Just hit it. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. I know you can assume and just say, hey, Joseph, I can just assume and watch this video without doing it. But guess what? You'll be on missing, all right? So you'll be notified when I upload a new video. So hit that subscription button. Then up chini on your right, kuna kakitu kanakaa kama kamkono na mlani this. Just click it, and guess what you've just done? You are now a full candidate to be notified when I upload a new video. All right, so let's get to see, was this 20-10 or rather 24% rule? This is what I want to do. So let's say you want to take a certain item on loan, right? So this is what you're supposed to apply when taking it. You have to do we usually call a deposit, all right? Or at the first payment of 20% of the total price of that given item. Did I make sense on that? What I've just said is this. There's what we call down payment, right? You have to do 20% of that given item in terms of its total price, right? Say an item is worth 100,000. Put down your 20 G's, right? If you put down your 20 G's, that's the 20% what it stands for. Now let's go to 4. 4 stands for the maximum period of time in terms of years that should not exceed you paying that specific item. All right, so it should not exceed 4 years. For you to stay on the healthy perspective, should not exceed 4 years. Right? That means, like, if you do a down payment of 20%, then of course you'll be doing your monthly. Depends on how you guys agree, whether you'll be doing yearly or monthly or whatever. But I guess mostly becomes monthly. All right. So once you get yourself into paying continuously for the rest of the amount of money, and of course interest because you're buying this item on a higher purchase formula, then that specific item, the entire period that you'll be paying should not exceed 4 years. Because if it does, then it means you aren't on a healthy relationship when it comes to this loan. All right? And guess what? The other one, it's about 10. So what does this 10 stand for? 10 stands for you should not do over 10% of the total amount of money you earn, either at the end of the month, to use it or use it to repay the loan that you're processing on that given item. Let me repeat myself, because perhaps you've missed a point. What I'm saying is this. After paying your down payment, and then you agreed down payment of 20% of the total amount of money that item actually costs, right? Then you're supposed to pay that for that item not more than 4 years. And then there is that money that you'd be paying continuously in let's say after every 1 month for a certain period of time that you've agreed, and I've said should not exceed 4 years, okay? And then this 10% should be the maximum amount of money that you're supposed to dedicate towards paying that specific loan. Say you want like 100K. All right, should not exceed 10,000 to repaying that loan. It is not healthy. It doesn't become healthy for you. And by the way, let's now contextualize this information to you taking a loan to start a business, for instance. All right, so this is what you're supposed to do. Of course, when you're taking a loan, it doesn't have a down payment. You get my point? So what you're supposed to do is that should always consider the period of time that they have given you to repay the entire loan. Vis-a-vis, how much are they expecting you to repay at the end of the month if you're paying at the end of the month? or if you're paying at the end of the week, then you have to put it on the table and get to dissect the information. Ask yourself how much they're asking at the end of the month vis-a-vis where I'm going to invest this money and how much I'm prospecting to be making at the end of the month, so that you can be able to do all those mathematics so you don't get yourself in trouble. Because what people does, you get your loan, immediately after getting your loan, you direct your loan in buying some unnecessary things. For instance, say you want to put up like a beauty parlor. Right? So you take this loan to beautify the place, branding, painting, getting yourself some banners and what have you. Those are things that you cannot actually buy, or rather you cannot sell if, say things goes south. All right? So you should always concentrate using the loan money that you've gotten. You're supposed to buy what we call the conventional things, like the strategic things that you can be able to sell in case things goes wrong. For example, if you can buy yourself like gel machine, if there is something like that, okay, you can just actually, turn it into a liquid. You can sell it. If you want to buy yourself something like, let's say, some chairs and couches and whatever, you can actually, go ahead and sell that. All right? So you can actually buy that thing that you can turn it into a liquid and be able to earn money. So what I'm saying is this: consider the period of time that they have given you to repay that back loan, all right, vis-a-vis how much they expect you to do as a down payment. Say you are employed and you've secured your loan based on your salary, because some people do use their salary as their collateral, or sort of a collateral, should I say. So they use their salary to pay back their loan. So if you want to stay in a healthy relationship with the loan and the loaner as well, if that name exists anyway, so you have to consider how much percentage are they cutting from my salary. It's not logical for them to go ahead and cut over 50% of your salary and then expect you to live a normal life. Remember, before you took a loan, there were things that you're servicing. All right? You had a family, you have to eat, you have to pay your rent, you have maybe to say, maybe you have to fuel your car, you have maybe to pay your black tax, for those who know what's it, and all those things. Remember, they were being sustained by 100,000. Taking 100,000 as an example in this context, and then they take a half of it. Does that mean that you have to surrender or sacrifice a lot of things? Almost or more than half of what you're doing has to be packed. So you have to consider the percentage at which they are taking, from your salary to repay back the loan. And I said, if you can be a good smart guy, you can negotiate yourself and get at most 10% of whatever you're earning at the end of the month. They take it as your loan to repay your loan. Then I'll say, or I can tell you, you stand a very high chance to be on the safer side when it comes to loan. When you want to start a business, that's it, and that's how it starts. All right? So the rule is called 20-4-10%. Consider that loan whenever consider that rule whenever you're taking a loan, and tell me what you think about it. Just down below, comment and tell me, hey, you know what? I understood, or I didn't understand it. All right? And again, tell me on the comment section, what rule do you use? Because we have to be guided by a rule. We have to be guided by numbers, because I always tell people, numbers don't lie, so should you. Don't lie as well. Be careful about them. All right? So anyway, you're out here, you'd like to get a business ideas. This is a place to be. If you want to get business plans, this is a place to be. I also write business plans for people, business proposals, and such kind of things. All right? I have booklets about shares, about booklets about, what we call money market fund, about treasury bills, about treasury bonds. Maybe you've been hearing those things that you don't even know how to get started. Stick around. Get my number from from the description of this video, or I'll still pin it on my comment section. Grab it, give me a call, or text me on WhatsApp. You get your copy. It's only $220, and from there we get started. For now, what can I say apart from bye? See you in the next one.